Something else, Chris, I'd like to explore is that, research says that what we're seeing from procurement surveys and SAMR research, that decisions are increasingly being made by committees. And, we even see figures that typically there's 6 to 10 people on a significant procurement purchase item committee. So a couple of questions come to mind. How often would you say, based on your experience, would finance be part of that committee? And what are they, what are they looking at? What are they there for, so to speak?
Right. So I think, finance is going to be part of that committee virtually every time. Right? So whether it's just the procurement people or you have other finance people from the organization that are part of that committee, they will be there, really almost every time. I often, when you think about the person that sort of generates the numbers, who does the evaluation on, and again, we're really talking here where it's not just low cost, but you've got other evaluation criteria. The person that's running those numbers or creating those models has a lot of influence, because there are a number of judgment decisions that you're making, as we just talked about. What's the risk of one solution versus another solution? You're making a judgment decision as to what the discount rate maybe if it should be different for a solution from one company versus another company. So that finance person, whether it's in procurement or outside of procurement, has a significant influence on that operation. And it takes, so if the finance team comes out and says, option A has a $10 million benefit for our business and option B has a $1 million benefit for our business, it's possible that the business leads will overrule that. But it would take you're really going out on a limb. You really have to believe that that's the case, because if you're a business lead and you overrule the analysis that suggested that there was 9 million more benefit, if your solution doesn't deliver that extra 9 million of benefit, then it's really, people are going to be looking at you and saying, you made a bad choice. So the finance people often have a fairly significant role in that conversation, because they do control the numbers. And they're often also the people after the fact that will be doing the measurement to determine how much of that value is there. So if they are leaning towards a particular solution and they're also creating the model that's or doing the analysis afterwards to determine which one makes more sense, you can sort of think about which one they might be favoring as they're thinking about how they're going to model something or how they're going to analyze different things. And it might be subconscious, right? We're not necessarily people aren't going to do it intentionally, but we all have subconscious biases around things that we have historically supported or historically liked. So the finance team often has a very big impact. Obviously, it has to meet all of the hurdles. Delivers the technology solutions you need. It delivers all of the other requirements that the organization has. But once you get to that point, if you're measuring against different levels of benefit, different levels of cost, then you'll see the finance team has a significant role in that.
Great. Wow. And I'm just curious, because there's obviously there's a CFO, and then there's forgive the term, a bit of an army that reports to the CFO. Who are the people that are most likely to be, what kind of titles would you see? Was it the CFO of themselves that's in a buying decision? When would they show up, and when would they delegate that, and who do they likely delegate that to?
Mm-hmm. So, obviously, again, the procurement arm is going to be the one that's doing most of the buying. I think you're going to find, depending on the structure of the business, right, the controller group, often there may be divisional CFO. So if you have a divisional president, you may have a divisional CFO. That relationship is often a very tight relationship, because they're doing the forecasting of the business. They're really managing the cost of the business for that executive. And if they do their job well, that executive is often hitting their numbers, which is how many cases they're compensated. So, look for those divisional CFOs, divisional controllers, directors of finance might be their title, depending on the size of the organization. And I think as you're looking at that, it's the people that you're engaging with at your customer may often be able to give you some insights as to who are the people that have the opportunity to influence the decision, or who are the people that will be doing the evaluations, or measuring the success of a particular project.